What was that? Welcome to another episode of Fade the Duce. And let me tell you, if you're listening to Kevin's picks, I think you might be making yourself some money.
Dude,
now, Matt,
if you're listening to the locks, you're making money because the locks on this season were something like 7-2 or 8-1, something like that. So, Ryan, did you hit on your lock last week?
No. I did not hit my lock because the monsoon in West Lafayette kept the point total down.
That's right. Matt and you are 2-1 on your locks. I'm 3-0, 7-2 on the locks. Like that's where it's at.
I don't feel so bad though. I'm not the weatherman. I can't predict a monsoon or a hurricane, man. Like it was 59.5. They still scored 50 in the slush. So it's like, how did you do last week, Matt?
I hit my lock with Texas Tech at home. Took care of business. I think they got up 20. I got them at 23.5, and I think they got up 28-0 or 24-0, one of the two, and kind of held on and won by about 30. So feeling good.
Speaking of Texas Tech, I think.
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
My lock of the week was Arkansas, Ole Miss over 60.5 or 61.5. I said we might get there by halftime. We came really close. It was 31-28.
You are right. Yeah,
31-28 at halftime.
Great call.
We've
winning weeks for both Kev and I, and I think we're rounded in form here for week 4.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
mixes up though.
Yeah.
So to take off though too.
The first game that we're going to talk about tonight, it's going to be a doozy. It's a barn burner. It's a slobber knocker. Anything you want to like to call it. It's a top 20 matchup. Texas Tech heads to Salt Lake City to take on the Fighting Utes of Utah. Utah here is a 2.5-point favorite. We'll start with you this week, Kev. You can go first here. It's like the high scoring Texas Tech Raiders.
Yes.
It looks like Utah's back to form where we would thought that program was a couple years ago. It was kind of weird and wonky what was going on there. It's like they didn't know what quarterback was there or who was going to be healthy and who wasn't. So we'll start with you here. 2.5-point favorite, Utah.
Well, the weird thing about this game, and I would like it a lot more if we weren't in this situation, is this game is a 10 a.m. local kickoff time, right? So that's really weird. That's an odd kickoff time. However, Utah, really good football team last year, despite their record. They just couldn't figure out the quarterback situation. They played 4 guys last year at the quarterback position. This year, they seem to have that under control. Their defense is really good, and they played a really solid defense last week in Wyoming that hadn't given up many points. I had that as a possible pick. It was a general principle game, home dog in prime time. They ended up covering late, but that game was close. Texas Tech can score with the best of them, but they really haven't played anybody. This is just a general principle game for me. I'm going to take a home team under a field goal with big noon kickoff showing up there. That's a really loud, crazy environment, and I know it's 10 a.m., but they're coming off a bad season last year from a record standpoint. I think the fans show up. I think it gives them an advantage. Give me the Utes -2.5.
Yeah, I'm waking up taking some fireball shots for this game because it is the breakfast club of all breakfast club games.
Hey. Ooh.
I totally agree with Kev here. I mean, I think as far as Utah, they have built their team like Kyle Whittingham has built all of his teams at Utah. And he's got guys there and in place. They got a transfer quarterback, and they got transfer wide receivers that came from New Mexico. They got the New Mexico offensive coordinator. But everybody else is homegrown, including the defense. I think they returned seven or eight starters on defense. Now, on the other side, Texas Tech, their offense has been crazy good. Now, I know both these teams have not played anybody. Now, I'm looking right here. Their opponents are combined 1-11. and their strength of schedule between all of their opponents is 127.5. It's god awful. So, I mean, take some of these stats with a little bit of a grain of salt. But at the same time, Texas Tech went into the transfer portal, spent $10 million plus, and revamped their entire defense. Now they've got 4 guys that are on NFL draft boards on their D line. They're holding opponents to 41 rushing yards per game. Again, small sample size, bad opponents. But I'm going to take the Texas Tech Red Raiders here on the road. And just because of their offense, I think this is a game that their defense has enough and their offense will get them over the hump and cover the 2.5. So I'm going to take the Red Raiders plus 2.5 on the road.
2 guys here in this game that are putting up ridiculous numbers right now. Devin Dampier, quarterback for Utah, almost 650 yards passing through 3 games, 6 or 7 touchdowns, 200 yards rushing. And then Baron Morton for Texas Tech, 11 touchdowns already, almost 1,000 yards in the air. Hasn't really played much in the 3rd or 4th quarter. 2 guys who should be getting their flowers that aren't yet. Should be a fun game. It's, as Illini fans, with most of the people tuning into this, it's a game you can tune into at 11 o'clock. This is a really interesting matchup to me. This is a lot like the Notre Dame Texas A&M game last week for me. This is not a game I'm rushing to the window to bet.
Right.
We don't duck the top games that fade the Duce.
Did you see Joseph's comment? I put it on here.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he likes the over 56.5.
Yeah, so I want you guys to know I appreciate your comments on Fade the Deuce. We get tons on the Keeping It Orange and Blue, but I'll put your comments up here if I think they're good and relevant. So he said over the total is the play here.
I'm not afraid of that, 56.5.
I'm not either, as the way they fling the ball. And Texas Tech, they're trying to run another play in 10, 15 seconds every single time. So the tempo
is at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fly Illini. We are going to get to Illinois and Indiana as the very final game. Don't worry, we're going to get to it. I know the line moved up to 6.5, so we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. So before we get to the next game, what you're saying, Matt, is I know Lubbock, it's kind of far away, but you're saying, is it guns up? Is that what they do there?
Guns up.
Guns up. Okay.
That's right.
So, no shameless
Get them up.
I don't need Texas Tech fans on me now. So the next one on the docket was an interesting one last year. Oklahoma had it in the bag, man. Oklahoma had it in the bag at Auburn. I remember they were up 10 with like 6 minutes left. I remember leaving to go. I was like going to the store or something, and I'm like, I'll find another game when I get back. I get home 40 minutes later, and somehow Auburn blew it at home.
Yeah. I was going to say it's the other way around.
Auburn blew the game. Oklahoma had no business winning the game. Sorry.
It was the same. It was the same day as the Illinois Penn State game. I had friends over at the house. We watched that. Then we watched the Illinois Penn State game. Yeah.
So you agree though? Oklahoma had no business winning.
No, they didn't.
All right.
My buddy, huge OU fan, lost his mind.
So Matt, we'll start with you here. The game is in Norman.
Yep.
7.5 point favorite here. Auburn, they're ranked. Last week, I will say though, man, they struggled against South Alabama. I watched the game, and man, I'm telling you, South Alabama went on a 15-play, 65-yard drive where it was just running the ball, and eventually Auburn stopped them in the red zone on 4th down because all they could do was run the ball. So there's some things there to be worried about. So we'll start with you at Auburn at OU.
And you got Jackson Arnold coming back to Norman for a little maybe revenge, if you want to say, in his mind. The former OU quarterback. I'm sure he's going to try to put on a show and prove, OU and OU fans wrong. Hey, I'm in a better situation now at Auburn. I'm not buying it. I think they've been absolutely god-awful on offense. They are very conservative. They're sticking really 5 to 10 yard passes for Jackson Arnold right now. Nothing down the field. They're 101st in the NCAA in explosive plays. I don't see this offense being able to score against this OU defense. OU defense ranked 2nd in the country, total defense. They got studs all over the field. They're fast. they're going to be all over Auburn here. I don't know what else to say other than I just don't see it with Auburn. Go ahead and prove me wrong, but I think what Oklahoma already did, not to mention they got the second hardest strength of schedule already too of who Oklahoma's played. They've been tested, Michigan at home. But just like what they did to Michigan, this is what they're going to do to this Auburn team. 7.5 is not nearly enough. They could still play bad and win by 10, and that's plenty to cover. I'm taking the Sooners at home minus 7.5.
Boomer.
Sooner.
That's right. Sooner.
I wonder where you're going, Kev. I think I have an idea.
What he said.
Yeah,
it's a revenge game for one guy on one side of the ball and all 25 other guys on the other side of the ball that play defense. It's one guy on one side of the ball who the other opposing coach knows all his tendencies. Right.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma's a little banged up. They got some offensive linemen that are banged up here. I'd love this for my lock. I'm going to be in Illinois. Might go to the window here and outline this up. This has got 34-13 written all over it. 47.5 is the number. So what I'll actually do is probably just move that total up a little bit in the 2-team teaser and take the under. Oklahoma's defense is legit. Like, it is legit. They gave up 6 points to Michigan. 3 of those, I believe, came because of a muffed punt. And one was a broken play, 75-yard touchdown run. Other than that, that's the only touchdown they've given up all year has been a broken play, 75-yard touchdown run by Justice Haynes, who's a pretty good running back, right? And that's a good Michigan offensive line. Auburn's offensive – this Oklahoma defense is legit. I'm completely in agreement with Matt here. This has got at least 10 points written all over it, and I actually like a sprinkle on the under as it is. Give me the Sooners here, and I'll give the points.
Now, the next game would be, I think, the Big Ten game of the week if it weren't for the Illini-Indiana matchup. It's actually a very good and intriguing one.
I love this game.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It is.
To me, it's like, is Matt Rule, are his philosophies, is the team bought in? If they win this game, they host Michigan. We're going to get to that. But, man, that tells me that they're fully bought in. And what Matt Rule did at Baylor, I think he can do at Nebraska. This is a game that they've got to win, in my opinion. So we'll start here with you, Kevin. Wait a sec. Didn't we start with you?
Yeah, that's right. Kev.
Okay, yeah. So we're starting with you, Kev, right? All right.
Yep.
So Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan's a 1.5-point favorite here. I'm still kind of confused with that, to be honest with you. I know Nebraska really hasn't played anybody, but it's in Lincoln. Michigan's just coming off kind of a spanking. That line confuses me a little bit. Go ahead. You can tell me why it's what it is.
Well, there's one pause for concern is the one legit team that Nebraska's played this year is Cincinnati, and Cincinnati ran for 200 yards on them. So you've got to sit there and go, okay, if Cincinnati can run for 200 yards on you, now granted, it was a quasi-home game at Arrowhead, home game for Cincinnati, whatever. It was 90% Nebraska red, not Cincinnati red. This game is weird to me. Like, I'm with you, Ryan. I am going to do something here that I do a lot on this show. I've done a lot this year, and it's worked out really well for me. I'm going to take the under 47.5. I think that Bryce Underwood, he showed out last week against Central Michigan at home. Good. Cool, man. Like, go do that on the road. I'm not a huge believer in the Nebraska defense, but I'm a big believer in the Michigan defense. I'm not a huge believer in the Michigan offense, and I'm not that – like, Nebraska's been able to run the ball, but you're not going to run it like that against Michigan's defense. This game has got, like, 17-16 written all over it, in my opinion. I think that Nebraska has enough guys on defense that to make Bryce Underwood, and that place is going to be loud.
Well, Michigan could win 17-16, and guess what? Nebraska covers.
I know, but just give me under 47.5, and I don't feel real good about it, but it feels like a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, and I'm totally with you on the under. I like that play. I think it's going to be a drop down, knock them out, rock 'em, sock 'em, Big Ten game.
It's gonna be a rock fight, man.
Yeah, it will be. And Nebraska is playing slower this year. They're 74th in tempo for plays, so they've slowed it down a little bit. Raiola has done great protecting the ball, no interceptions to this point, which is to their favor. I thought last year, sometimes he could be a little too aggressive at times in the pocket, and led some turnovers that hurt his team. But to your guys' point earlier, they haven't played anybody. Cincy, yes, I didn't think Cincy looked very good, and Nebraska barely escaped. To Ryan's point, they got gashed on defense. They couldn't stop the run. I think Cincy averaged 7 yards per rush. It was like 6.8, something around that line.
That was Kevin's point. I'll give him credit for that.
Okay, to Kevin's point. No INT, or what was I going to say? Michigan 4th in defense. Underwood has already gotten a start under his belt that is on the road. Yep. Yeah, in an environment that he'll be ready for. And my kicker here too, Nebraska 27 straight games not beating a ranked opponent. Okay, I'm not on the bandwagon yet. Prove to me you can do it. Prove to me you can beat somebody that's ranked. Okay.
You're and then Missouri roots. You're from the Show Me State.
Yeah, exactly. And then to Ryan's point earlier, I'm leaning into this weird Vegas line. It probably could be flipped. Maybe should be. I think they're begging people to take Nebraska, so I'm going to take Michigan -1.5. They've already got one loss. They can't afford another, and I think they win this game.
Hey, speaking of Nebraska, I got my beautiful can koozie here that I'm showing off tonight that I got at the Nebraska game from the Keller Williams Littlefield Group, Rhonda Littlefield in Champaign, and Toyota Danville. Bob
nice.
Olsen.
Shout out
here. Shout out to my people there. Maybe
that could be a sponsor for us.
Yeah, I'll talk to Rhonda and Bob, see what they think. They appreciate that. It was so funny. We were tailgating. They were a couple tailgates down. They saw my Illinois stuff come up, and sure enough, I see Bob. I coached his kid Eli in high school baseball, and Rhonda's daughter went to high school with my little brother in St. Joe, so it was really cool. So
nice.
Now the next one, and it shouldn't even be the game day game. It's just I feel like it's ESPN's way of saying like Big Ten.
ESECPNs.
Eat one.
It is. But you know what? Indiana doesn't deserve game day on our backs. So, sorry, the number 19 team, you don't get game day because you playing us. That I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's have the 2-loss Florida Gators head to the undefeated, amazing-looking Miami Hurricanes, who just mopped South Florida, which that was a great call from you, Kev, last week, because I thought South Florida, was
great call. I was on South Florida and the under.
Oh, they're good though.
I took South Florida too.
South Florida's good, but
they are
Miami
good.
Mopped them. That also says a lot more about Florida than it does Miami here. So that's what I'm saying. By the way, LSU's overrated as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Anyway, so but Florida here 7.5. That feels really light here. So we're gonna start with you, Matt. It feels light to me. I know that you guys say the theory of relativity or whatever numbers don't mesh because one team beat one team by this many. I just feel like Florida, the confidence is going to be gone. 2 losses already. Coach on the hot seat. Miami's
he's dead man walking.
Miami's rolling, though. 7.5 feels light at home. Go ahead, Matt.
It does feel light at home, and I don't care. I mean, give me all the points on this one. DJ Lagway last week, 5 interceptions. What are you doing? I know he had some injuries in the offseason, and he was rehabbing, trying to get ready for the season. But, I mean, this guy, he looked like the rust is still rusting on him because he had no clue last week.
Randy Ann, who lives in Florida, she knows Florida stinks.
Thank you, Randy. I'm with you. I'm taking Miami at home. We got Carson Beck. He leads NCAA in completion percentage, yards per attempt, and passer rating. 486 yards per game. He's got that offense really, really steaming full head, and I think their defense is really, really, really good, especially their front seven. And there's just no way the Gators are one, two or three bad plays, their heads are down. They've lost all confidence. Miami wins by at least 17.
Okay, Kev, come on, give us a Lee Corso. Come on, we need it. Not so fast, my friend. Go ahead.
I can't do it, right? Matt knows this. There are lines that stink that are out there. By the way, it must have been a glitch. I was on ESPN earlier in this week, and this was minus 3.5, and I should have just figured out where could I bet that, but I've not seen that was accurate. So maybe I was just having a brain fart in my head. I don't. This line makes no freaking sense. And if this was October, I'd lean into it. It's too early in the season for me to lean into a line that makes no freaking sense. So in that regard, dude, LSU and Miami are the most similar defensive line fronts I've seen this year. Like they have fast, super athletic dudes on their front four that get after the quarterback. You're playing at Miami. You're playing at night again. Dude, the one thing goes wrong. Like Florida might keep this close for a quarter or two, but all of a sudden something's going to break their way and the floodgates are going to open. Miami is playing with such confidence. I'm not a transitive property guy, but seriously, when you look at they played the same team in the past 2 weeks and look at and both Miami and Florida played them at home. South Florida beat them. Miami boat raced them. Like, doesn't make any sense to me here. Miami's going to beat Florida's ass. Like I'm with Matt here. This might be have a little fun with it. Take a small play on it. Alt the line up to 14.5. Get plus 350 on that, and put a $10 play on it and make $45.
Kurt Cignetti might be Florida's coach next year. They'd be smart.
Maybe. I can't. This line makes this line wouldn't make any sense to me if it was 10.5.
I was going to say it should be like 12.5.
Right. At 12.5, I'd start to consider maybe taking the Gators. I can't do it here. Miami's the better offense. Miami's the better defense. Miami's the better team. Miami's at home. Miami's got the better quarterback, the more experienced quarterback. Like, what do we do? They got the better coach right now. Like, what are we doing?
Everything that you guys make me feel good about myself. It's almost like I kind of have an idea what I'm talking about, because I'm like, the line stinks. Maybe they'll agree with me. Yeah, the line.
This is like Vegas will start to trip us up in October, November. There'll be lines out there that are real fishy, and the pros will jump on it, and the Joes will jump on the other side. This one doesn't make. I'm surprised it hasn't moved up. There's what is out there that's keeping this at 7.5 is beyond me, because as we'll get to talk to in the next game, the Illinois line has moved, and I don't know what's out there that would change it that much. This stinks to me. Give me the Canes minus 7.5.
What was the game last week, Kev? But we both called out and said this line sucks, and we were right. I'm like, this is too obvious. Remember, we were talking about like.
Well, I said Clemson. I said Clemson Georgia Tech was wrong team favored.
Oh no, it was the WTF. Remember?
Yeah.
WTF.
Yeah,
okay, wrong team. Yeah, wrong team favored. That's what it was. Okay.
I didn't like and listen. Georgia got lucky to win that game against Tennessee. I thought that was a wrong team favorite too. Tennessee had that game in hand the whole game, and just they should have just picked the damn field goal.
We should say that under Josh Heupel, they Tennessee'd it. That's what they did. It seems like those big games, man, they always do something stupid like that.
I know. They slow played it way too slow. I mean, what are you doing?
The only chance for this to come in under the number is a backdoor. And there's not going to be a backdoor when Miami's playing Florida.
No.
They're all right. Blood. The game that you guys have all been waiting for to discuss here, the interesting here, and I'll delve a little bit into the line, why I think it moved not 2 whole points, as Kev had corrected me a little bit earlier, but I do think that there's some injury concerns, and you don't believe Vegas knows any. But I think that's just okay. Once I've gotten to know Sam Panayotovich like I do, we chat a little bit, and he hears things midweek from his people, and so I'm thinking if he knows things, then how the hell do the people who are making the odds not know some of this? So I genuinely think that they know a little bit. They don't know the maybe grand situation when it comes out Saturday night, but I think they know there's some injury problems at Illinois. So the line jumped, in my opinion, at least a point of the two, because Illinois is going to be without some key starters. Without me having to say who they are, it's going to affect offense and defense. So we'll start with you, Kev, right? Back to you because you started, right?
Yeah.
So 6.5. Illinois is going to have that chip on their shoulder, though, because Brett. I know Aaron Henry. You know Aaron Henry. Nobody's picking them. Everybody's picking Indiana. Oh, Illinois is not Indiana last year. Hell, Indiana may be better than they were last year. Everybody's talking about it. People already who were praising Illinois as a CFP team were talking about Illinois against Western Michigan's first half. Are you sure they're really that good? Like all these shows. So the players know that. So we'll start with you here, Kev.
All right. So the reason this line opened at 4.5, which is a little bit odd unto itself, like this is two teams I think that most people in Vegas would see as even teams. Home game,
Yes.
Maybe you get it at 3.5 with being a night game, adding the extra hook. 3 points is normally a home team credit here. Now it's at home at night. Like I said, maybe that's the 4.5. Fine. That line has since moved to 6.5. And here's the reason why. If you go look at pure metrics, pure stats, Indiana is light years in front of Illinois. If you go look at teams' sacks allowed in the nation, Indiana is tied for 6th in the country with 1 sack allowed.
Oh, 1?
It wasn't Fernando Mendoza. Illinois, 122nd with 9. Then you start to go look at yards. Yards is going to supremely favor Indiana. Yard differential, yards per play, all of those things. But not so fast, my friend. Kurt Signetti and Brett Bielema are cut from a similar cloth, but they ain't cut from the same cloth. And here's what I'm talking about. Midway through the third quarter against Kennesaw State, the score was 21-9. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, a little more than halfway through the third quarter, the score was 21-9. That score ended up being 56-9.
They ran that sucker up. Yep.
Let me see. 20-yard Elijah Surratt, 20-yard pass to make it 42-9. 8-yard pass from Fernando Mendoza in the fourth quarter to make it 49-9. 6-yard pass to make it 56-9 in the fourth quarter. You can go look at the Indiana State game. They were up 45-0 at halftime, and of their, I think, 3 or 4 touchdowns they had in the second half, 2 of them were passing in the fourth quarter. Indiana is unleashing the dogs on teams late to drive this up. Illinois, while granted we did have starters in too late, and we can talk about the Xavier Scott injury if we like. Why was he in there at a 31-0 game? Illinois was pounding the rock. Illinois was trying to establish the run game, and Illinois called off the dogs against Duke, against Western Illinois, and against Western Michigan. That's the reason why I think that line is moving so crazy here. If you want a little faith as an Illinois fan and you want to listen to somebody who's going to talk about this very reasonable, go listen to the Joe Klatt podcast he had today. He picks Illinois outright. I'm agreeing with him. And I can't tell you why other than I have a feeling. And every now and then I get a feeling. And this isn't a homer pick other than the fact that I have a feeling and I only get feelings from my team. Because I picked against Illinois. I picked Illinois to lose against South Carolina. I remember that clear as day. I know I picked Illinois to lose to Kansas last year. I know I picked Illinois to lose to Penn State. I know I picked Illinois to lose to Oregon. Like I pick against my team sometimes when it's right. There is something in my gut that says Illinois rallies the troops this week. I think that Barry Lunny has tried some things in the first half of games, knowing maybe not necessarily Duke, but knowing that they could rectify it. I think he's found his mojo. This offensive line is still better than it showed. And Indiana loves to run RPOs. RPOs do not work as effectively against man defense. Fernando Mendoza is not very successful against the blitz. Ryan, you posted that this week. His numbers against the blitz down considerably. You know who the number one blitzing team in America is? The University of Illinois. Illinois is going to force Mendoza into doing something bad. And yes, we will miss Xavier Scott. I don't think he's going to play this week. That's what Bielema said. I'm not giving out any new information here, but I think Illinois backups make a play. I think Illinois gets a pick six or a fumble six in this game. Indiana is not going to be able to run the ball. They've run the ball for 300 yards in every game this season. That shit ain't happening against Illinois. I don't care who you are not going to be able to run for 300 yards a game against our front seven. It's going to force Mendoza into some things. Illinois is going to run out some turbo packages this week. I hope Daniel Brown's healthy, but you're going to see some Daniel Brown, Kenanel Odeluga, Gabe Akis, JoJo Hayden, and Joe Barna as your front five, and they're going to just come after him and just get after it. And I think Illinois is going to force something. I've got a great feeling about this game. Give me Illinois plus the points, but I think Illinois wins outright.
I like it. And you know what, Matt? I only have one thing to ask you. Are you hooked on a feeling?
I am hooked on that same feeling. I'm taking the Illini plus 6.5. It's just gotten to a point where it's too much for me, too many points for a Brett Bielema type team, because Kev just said what the recipe was. You basically, you want to sit on the ball, you want to rush, you want to keep that clock going, you want to control it and not turnover. Illinois is tied for number one in the country with 0 turnovers allowed all season. And they've gotten 6 so they're plus 6 and they're 14th in the country on turnovers, on takeaways. To Kev's point, I think we get a turnover or 2 here that kind of changes the tide. There were 6 shutouts last week in college football, and 2 of the 6 were these 2 teams playing. One 138-0, the other 73-0. And again, to Kev's point, these stats are so inflated because of the strength of schedule and what Cignetti has been doing in the 3rd and 4th quarter. He's playing the game, the ESPN FPI game. And,
good for him. Smart.
Yeah, good for him. No hate here for me. He's taking advantage of the system. And, I'm not going to bitch and moan about that. That's, where he sees some value. So take advantage. But you look at Altmaier and you look at Mendoza. 708 yards on the season, 9 TDs, 0 interceptions. Altmaier, 709 yards, 8 TDs, 0 interceptions. They're practically the same guy. Okay. Now, Indiana has 3 backs that have rushed for over 200 yards already. To Kev's point, they're averaging over 200 rushing yards a game. One is now out for the season. They are deep at running back.
Junior for those following along.
Yeah, they are very deep at running back. So I don't think we'll see a drop off there. But this is a game where Brett Bielema takes the ball, plays a little conservative here and there, runs some clock, tries to, win with toughness. This is a prototypical Brett Bielema game. They're going to find a way at the very least to keep it within the 6.5. So I'm taking the Illini here. I to Kev's point, can really see them winning outright as well in a very tough environment. But give me the Illini 6.5.
This game has a lot of Illinois at Nebraska last year feel.
Here,
it's the exact same point in the season. It's going to be a loud, raucous crowd, but it will have nothing on that game. Nothing. No. Luke Altmaier has played at Oregon. He has played at Nebraska. It will have
Penn State.
He's played at Auburn.
I was going to say at Penn State.
Illinois was 5-1 in 1-score games a year ago. You know what Indiana was in 1-score games a year ago? 0-0. They didn't play one. They didn't play one. I don't know that this team knows how to play when it's tough. Now, granted, I give them all their flowers for the way that they came back against Notre Dame in the college football playoff, and that might have ended up being a 1-score game. I don't remember the score, but let's be real. Anybody who watched that game knows that wasn't a 1-score game, right? It was a fluky end of the game where they got back in it. I'm just not buying. Here's the thing. Illinois is 10th in the nation in sacks. Indiana hasn't given up any. Well, when you play Kennesaw State, Old Dominion, and Indiana State, like, you're not going to give up any.
Yes,
St. Louis Rosary said it here. Purdue beat one team all year last year. Indiana State 49-0. Vegas loves the metrics. They love the yard. Listen, if you they did how bad did we get beat Duke game, and Duke should have won, whatever. That's just by yard per play efficiency. That doesn't count into like field position, what Robert Rosenthal calls footballing and turnovers. And yeah, I know I'm going over here because this is our game. This is the first time on Fade the Deuce in our third season. This is the biggest game on the docket, regardless of where game day is, regardless of where Big Noon is. If you take the collective rankings of both teams, this is the lowest number. This is the biggest game in college football this weekend, and we're a part of it. And
next week, Illinois is going to be part of one of the biggest games of next weekend, even though it's not the biggest with Oregon and Penn State. But USC Illinois Big Noon kickoff, yeah, it's a big one.
I'll tell you this, guys. This will be the tightest wound I think I've been for an Illinois football game in a very, very maybe in my life. Maybe in my life.
True. Because if they can get through this one, man, you can start to kind of see a clearing here of like how would they lose more than 2 games the rest of the year.
The closest I can get is going back to like 2001 when we saw Michigan, when we played Michigan at home and ended up losing. Like that was tough. But we saw a Big Ten title that was in front of us, and thank goodness Ohio State beat Michigan that day in an upset. But yeah, I don't know that I've been. I'm going to be in Chicago for this one. I'm going to the Bears Cowboys game. Keeping it orange and blue is going to have to be Monday night. Ryan, sorry.
Okay.
Going to my first ever Bears game in Soldier Field.
I hope you can enjoy it, dude, and not worry about what happens in the game. So
I think the Bears are going to win.
Yeah, it should be a winnable game, but you never know, man. They should have beat Minnesota too. So
that's true. No, I think the metrics are inflating this.
Yeah,
and I've got some weird feeling. I feel like 38-24. I feel like Illinois might silence them. I don't know why. We're banged up. We're hurt. I don't think it matters.
No, there's talent. I mean, Tanner Heckel's going to have to play. And we saw that he's not worried about the moment. So,
right.
Illinois got some. Here's the thing: Hudson Clement's gonna have to step up. So, you got guys like Bowick probably out, and there's Hudson Clement. There's Ashton Hollins.
What about that kid from Mount Zion?
Yeah, Braden Trimble. Yeah, there's a reason. Trimble. There's a reason Brett Bielema brought him up this week in the presser. You know, he didn't have to just say, and Scott, Xavier Scott's brother. And guess what? Our boy, Grant Bierman.
Yeah, there's a level of when freshmen get in games like that, Matt, you can attest to it on the basketball side of things more so than the football. There's kind of one or two ways. Either the moment is too big for you or you're too fucking stupid to realize what the moment is and you just ball out.
Ball play, yeah.
Right, and I hope for the guys who are getting the chance to play, it's the latter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, it's a very real thing. We've seen it so many times in sports where like, oh, the moment was too big for him, or like, who the hell is this guy in this game? It's like, I didn't know it was a big game. I'm just playing football.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm an 8-man football player from Kansas. I'm just going to go out there and ball out. I'm a little skinny ass white dude who can jump
played 8-man football.
You like my mustache? I do. All right, so you boys got your locks ready? You guys know what you need? All right.
I know. Kev, go first.
Sure, not a problem.
Matt's still scouring. That's mine. I'm scouring. That's mine. That's what I do. Go ahead, Kev.
I love this game. I'll give you guys 3 guesses what kind of game I'm taking this week.
Home dog and prime time.
On a weird night, on a non-traditional night. Give me the Scarlet Knights getting 2.5 points at home against the Iowa Hawkeyes in Piscataway. Okay. Friday night in Piscataway, New Jersey, against playing a quarterback who has no idea what's going on at this level. Rutgers can score. Like that offense, they've scored some like 30 points in some like 6 or 7 games. So don't get me wrong. They're playing a really good defense. And I have no doubt that Phil Parker's got something for those Elliott Manis guys and all the stuff that's going on there. But there's a little bit of mojo going on in Piscataway right now. I think it's a better team than people think, especially at home. Give me the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, home dog, prime time, non-traditional night, plus the 2.5.
I like it.
I like it too. I'm going to stay in the Big Ten, and I'm taking Maryland plus 10 at Wisconsin.
Ooh, are we going to be able to score?
I know this is a little out there, but I think this is a low-scoring game to begin with. So I don't see. Maybe it's a nice bounce back spot for Wisconsin coming off of the Alabama game. I know they'll obviously be ready, but I don't see. Wisconsin's offense has given me nothing this year, and I know you could sit here and say the same for Maryland and some key points, but I just think 10's too many here. So I'm taking the Terrapins plus 10 at Wisconsin.
What's the over-under on that one?
I want to say, let me look. It's 44.5.
44.5, and it's a 10-point spread. Woo!
That's exactly what I'm saying. Usually, okay, so they're saying 24-20. If they could even score that much, I'm taking the Terrapins plus 10.
I like
it. Beat me by more than 2 scores, please.
The one challenge is they got freshman quarterback on the road. It is an 11 a.m. kickoff. Like Wisconsin just got the brakes beat off of them. What's the crowd? What's the crowd going to be like in Madison?
Yeah, probably not great.
I love the under on that one. I'm with Brandon Lampy here. I love the under on that one.
Okay.
I like the 10.5 too. I mean, if I'm going under on 44.5, give me the points too, please and thank you.
Exactly. That's my deductive reasoning here.
So I'm looking through here.
By the way, I like SDR's picks. SDR likes Notre Dame over Purdue. I think it's 26.5. It's going to be a pissed off Notre Dame team. And then he also likes Oregon over Oregon State in a bloodbath. The only reason why I feel a little worried about giving 34.5 points is it's still such a rivalry game. Oregon State's going to play their hearts out. I might like Oregon State in a first half cover and Oregon in a total cover.
Okay.
So I'm looking through here, and I'm going to go with a team that really impressed me last week. And they beat Minnesota at Minnesota's own game. I like Cal. I think Cal's a good team. This is Justin Wilcox is one of his best teams. They've got some stud, play callers, coaches who've been fired and let go for different reasons. That they've got them as, offensive coordinator, analysts. They've got a gunslinging freshman lefty that I really like, and San Diego State is really bad. It's a 13.5-point line here. I think Cal, they play defense. They beat Minnesota 27-14 last week. And some of it was a Coy Parrott stupid special teams blunder on a punt. But they capitalized. They play really good D, and they still move the ball pretty well. I've just been looking at San Diego State, who got pummeled by a Washington State team that lost 59-10 to North Texas. So I think Cal's going to go into San Diego State, which it's just they're not a good team right now, and I think Cal's going to win by at least 17. So
where's that game being played?
What'd you say?
Where's that game being played?
That game's played.
Where's that game being played?
Where?
Yeah, where?
I thought it was at the San Diego State.
When is it being played?
I'm not picking a home dog. They're the favorite. Wait, no, home dog.
Not so fast, my friend. Give me the Aztecs plus the 13.
No
way. No way.
Okay.
San Diego State all day. General principle game. Plus the
Can't wait
13
till
and a half
next
at
week.
home in prime time.
Dude, Cal is not losing. Cal's going to cover, man.
When I saw that line, when I was just looking at games, Ryan, I saw that line and I was like, I love Cal. And then I saw when it was being played, and I'm like, GPG, general principle game. If I'm going to the window, I'm going with San Diego State.
Man, anything in the West Coast nowadays seems to be prime time because most of
the 9:30 Central kick, so 7:30 San Diego time. San Diego State's not very good. Cal's a better team than people think. So.
Yeah, so you know what? I might lose it, but I feel confident in it, and that's okay. I'm 2-1. The monsoon's the only reason I'm not 3-0 right now.
Well, I like Chief Illini. North Tech. I hate the bet because I love Army. North Texas -1.5 versus Army. I can see it.
Here could be here's a late night get right if you're having a rough day. I kind of like this one. Michigan State Sparty, USC over 54.5. Sparty has given up 40 in back-to-back game. They gave up 40 to Boston College.
Yeah,
40,
and they struggled to score on Stanford. Yeah,
so it was 42-40 that game. So there was 82 in that one. USC, I think they just scored again. They've been scoring all season long. At home, they're at least scoring 40 against the Spartans. And
Childs struggles with pressure. USC will dial something up in that game. I'm going to single game parlay that one. I know that's 17.5. Is it 18.5? I like USC and the over in that one.
What was the SDR play you wanted me to put up?
Oh, I talked about it. I said he said he likes Notre Dame.
Okay.
And what was the other? He likes Oregon, the 34.5. I said that already. I struggle like Washington State. I struggle in these really rivalry matchups to take the big number there.
Yeah, and Sellers is out for South Carolina. He's hurt. If he's playing, he's hurt. Yeah. That's the reason that Vanderbilt went in there and beat him like a redheaded stepchild. So
that was a game that early in the season we thought we would have taken, right, on Fade the Duce, South Carolina, Missouri, but sorry, Michigan, Nebraska trumped it.
Guys, you guys want me to sprinkle a little bit on Fresno, Hawaii late night over in the islands?
Always. I'm 0-1 on Hawaii so far this year, though. So
they're 3-1, man.
But hey,
good night.
6-0 last week with real money, college football, and already 1-0 tonight. I had the Charlotte Rice over.
The Charlotte Rice.
You know what game I like tonight? What pick I liked, but it didn't come through. So,
what was it?
I think Charlotte was catching 2.5 at home at night.
Yeah, they were.
Man, Bill Belichick looked like he had Tom Brady in that game. they blew the doors off Charlotte.
Yeah,
they had Aaron Gonzalez out there running around.
Rice was out there like they had Bert Emanuel playing again.
We always bet on Hawaii. Yeah, we did. I'm telling you, man. It's like literally, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock. You know, and I'm like, what's going on?
I think Hawaii gets when they play at home gets a ridiculous amount of money bet on their games from the Joes because we're all chasing. It's the same reason why Monday night exists. Monday night exists for one reason and one reason only. It's for you guys, for all of us to try and catch up after getting a bad beat on Sunday. By the way, Bears, Cowboys, over.
Yeah.
Over. I don't care what they're not going to give us a 60 total. That game gets into the 60.
I was about to say, dude, if the Bears are going to win, they're going to have to put up 40 plus.
50.5.
Yeah.
That's the total?
50.5.
There ain't no way in hell it's over. It might be more than that at halftime.
I agree with you, Ryan. Neither one of these defenses both suck. Now, granted, the Cowboys' defense looked good week 1 against the Eagles, but you got all camp to pull up to that. The Bears don't have Jalen Johnson. I don't know.
And they had a whole second half where it basically came back after a rain or a weather delay where it was lightning, and the whole game basically shut down. Both teams were worthless after our delay.
Hey, SDR, you tried to warn. You said it last week. I took the under LSU Florida. You tried to warn us in that one. You said Florida sucks. You also told us USF sucks, and you might be right. Or maybe Miami's really good.
Don't get SDR's head too big. Stop.
No, hey, man, give credit where credit is due. Brandon Lampy, I don't care if it's 60.5. Pick the over. And I'm going to be in attendance. So give me all the touchdowns. Give me all the touchdowns.
Do it.
Man, that guy's going to have so many old styles.
SDR, Florida is a terrible football team. I agree.
I don't know if they have old styles at Bears games, but if they do, Kev will be on them.
I wonder if they have gold Miller Lite cans.
No, those are tough.
Oh, we will have Illinois Big Ten schedule takes on Monday night.
On Keeping It Orange and Blue, KOIB. That's right.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to call
I did see one real take. All 18 teams now will be participating in the Big Ten tournament.
Wow.
Nobody is going to be left out.
No relegation, man. Come on.
I don't like the schedule. First glance, guys, I don't like the schedule.
I don't know. I saw a bunch of people loving it because of the one-off teams. Plus, we play the teams when we play 2 times aren't so bad. So
I hope you're right, Brandon. I would love to see another 5 picks from him. I think he's garbage.
Well, that'll do another week of Fade the Deuce. Glad we had some travel things going on here. We're glad we got Matt safe and sound from his traveling the world and seeing everything wonderful.
Can I share something real quick here? It's a tough day in my family. We put our dog down today, and I know there's other more important things. She was almost 16 years old.
Man, that's
older than your daughters, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This Ryan actually texted me tonight before the show, said, "Hey man, if you don't want to do it, it's okay. We'll just send our picks in via text and we'll just put it out on the Twitter sphere or whatever." And I was like, "No, man, I need the distraction." So appreciate everybody who listens to the show, who chimes in. This is a lot of fun to get the interaction. I actually work from home now, so I don't get the social interaction. So every single comment that anybody puts up here is well appreciated. You helped me detract from a really sad day in my family. It was time. We'll miss her dearly. Love that dog, but I'm going to go hug my daughter as she's crying herself to sleep tonight. So
yeah.
If you need to lay there with her, man, just fall asleep with her, dude. Sometimes that's all you need.
Right.
So with that said, hey, we love you, Kev. I know.
Yeah, we do.
I know the pain, man, and it doesn't get easy right away. But with that said, we'll be back next Wednesday, and then Keeping It Orange and Blue will be Monday. So we'll see you Monday night.